Good afternoon and welcome to the opening weekend of the 2021-22 Scottish Women's Premier League season. It's a new league campaign with renewed excitement, with 4 matches in SWPL 1 today, and we have the action from Petershill Park as the SWPL 1 champions Glasgow City host Motherwell. We'll take a look at the starting lineups and get straight into it. For Glasgow City, 3 of the 4 new signings in the off-season start today. Claire Walsh in defence, Vital Cat starts in midfield, Taylor Dodds starts in midfield as well, and there's a start for Taylor Fisher up front, the 18-year-old who made her first start against Hamilton in the SWPL Cup in August. And for Motherwell, it's a new era for Paul Brownlee getting off the league campaign underway. They have 5 of the new signings in their starting lineup: Crosby, Martin, Potter and Addy. And of course, one of the much-talked standouts, Leanne Crichton, starts against her former club here at Petershill Park. And there's also a little surprise addition with Paige McAllister, who you might know from Hearts and Celtic, on the Motherwell bench. Joining me in commentary this afternoon at Petershill Park is Emma Black. Welcome again, Emma. It's a new season, new excitement. We're ready to get underway. How do you see the game going today?
Yeah, excited to be here, excited for the season to kick off today. We've already had 1 game in play today with Hibs and Spartans. Today, for me, Glasgow City go into the game as favourites. Of course, you know they are the reigning champions. They've recruited extremely well again during the close season. They've already played competitive games, not just in the League Cup, but Champions League. And they'll obviously have an eye on Wednesday's game also. But they'll be looking obviously to take care of today's game, come out of today's game without any injuries, with 3 points, and they'll be looking for a clean sheet also.
Of course, as Emma says, we have had the SWPL Cup matches to get the season underway. So this is the buzz of a new league campaign. Glasgow City also with Women's Champions League action coming thick and fast, and a game again in midweek. And of course, one thing we haven't mentioned, we did see at the end of last season fans starting to trickle back into the stands. It's been great just to walk in amongst the familiar faces and the excitement everyone here at Petershill for an opening league campaign game.
Yeah, it's huge. Even driving here today and you see all the cars in the car park, and there's a real buzz about the stadium today, and it's fantastic that the fans are getting to see the players in the flesh now, and they've not seen here maybe a year and a half. They haven't been to a game, so it's absolutely fantastic. There's a real buzz, there's an excitement about the stadium, and they'll be really looking forward to today's game also.
And of course, Petershill Park, Glasgow City making the return here after playing their matches at Broadwood last season. It's a home of Glasgow City, and it's a difficult place to come. It's one that Grant Scott, the interim head coach of Glasgow City, said he didn't like travelling through to here when he was Hibs head coach previously. Just having a look at the starting lineup for Glasgow City this afternoon. Is there a lot of thinking in mind towards the Champions League? Obviously there's great depth in that City squad, so when there is rotation, sometimes it's hard to tell what a head coach like Scott Booth last season as well was thinking, because they're all first team players. Yeah,
absolutely, you're spot on there. I totally agree that they've got real depth in their squad, and it's almost like for like. So the replacements that come in, they're up to that standard of Glasgow City. And as I've mentioned, they will have an eye on Wednesday's game, of course they will. But you can just see the rotation. You know, Erin coming in for Lee today. You know, she's played in big games last season, so that's Glasgow City and Grant will have no issues about Erin coming in goals today. So I'm really looking forward to it. They'll be, as I said, looking no injuries today, come out of the game with 3 points, and then they can then focus on Wednesday.
One of the themes of today will be obviously new faces, new signings that are in both teams. We make it, obviously there was 10 signings for Motherwell through the off-season. There's also the addition of Paige McAllister, as we mentioned, on the substitutes bench, a bit of a surprise one there. Who for Motherwell do you think is really going to make their impression today here against Glasgow City?
I think the standout has to be Leanne Crichton. You know, she's a huge player. She's extremely experienced. You know, she's played in the FA Cup final. She's won many trophies with Glasgow City, many Scotland caps. So she'll be the driving force today in the game. She'll be vital in terms of helping the young players round about her today, carry the team forward, be the communicator on the park, and she'll lead by example today. So she'll be the standout for me in the Motherwell sides.
Obviously, usually when you travel away to play Glasgow City, there's a focus on defence for the visiting team. I mean, Motherwell have, you know, 3 new faces really in their defence this season. We're used to seeing the likes of Rachel Connor and Casey Watson last season. Chelsea Watson's the remaining player in there at the moment today. What do you think of the way the defence is looking and what Paul Brownlie's doing with the Motherwell defence?
Yeah, well, he's brought in Claire Crosby, who's vastly experienced. You know, previously she was at Celtic and she's played for Spartans before, so she'll bring her experience. And during the League Cup games, you look at the scorers for Motherwell. Claire Crosby scored 2 goals, as has Chelsea Watson. So for me, that indicates that they've been working on their set pieces. You know, they're taking advantage of that and they're getting on the end of set pieces, and that's with Claire Crosby and Chelsea Watson. They're influential in the opposition box.
Today's referee is Kieran Traynor, who's just setting out instructions to both of the captains, and we will have a little presentation, I think, here for Leanne Ross, who announced her retirement between the end of last season and the start of this season. And what a huge figure, what a huge identity she's had towards Glasgow City in her time here, Emma. Just a few words as Leanne Ross takes the applause from the fans.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I feel the word legend gets thrown about too lightly, too quick nowadays, but for me, she definitely is a legend, you know, not just for Glasgow City, but for women's football in Scotland. She's a huge person on and off the park, and it's so good to see her still involved at Glasgow City, taking up the assistant coach role, and she'll bring all her experience to the squad. She's a winner. All she's known throughout her full career is winning, and that's massive for someone still to be at Glasgow City. You know, it's huge pressure when you put on that Glasgow City strip, and she'll be helping all the new players come in, bed them in, and obviously just show them the Glasgow City way.
See the visitors get ready to get us underway, and Kayla McDonald-Ngoy gets the match started as Glasgow City and Motherwell finally opens their league campaign underway. And Glasgow City looking to spring an early attack. Claire Adams just trying to get control of the ball. Katz plays it through for Chinchilla, down on Ramsey. She takes it round the goalkeeper, and what a start for Glasgow City already. What a way to get a new league campaign off and running, and no surprise, it's Priscilla Chinchilla who gets an opening goal. Not even 30 seconds gone, and it's Glasgow City 1, Motherwell 0.
What a start for Glasgow City, is it? Less than 30 seconds on the clock, and it shows you they're pressing high. Katz next it, plays through Chinchilla, and she's used her pace, taking her first touch by the goalkeeper and slots it home. A great finish and a great start, and the first goal for this season in SWPL 1.
So Priscilla Chinchilla gets her 4th goal of the season already in all competitions. What a bright, electric start for Glasgow City. The home side will just have a little delay before things get underway again. Some attention for Motherwell goalkeeper Kim Ramsey. But a great start for Glasgow City, but that's not what Paul Brownlie would have wanted to see from his Motherwell side in the opening stages so early on. Just couldn't get control of the ball in the midfield, and that quick pass from Katz through to set Chinchilla away, and the 20-year-old gets her first league goal of the season with barely even a minute gone. As we just see the goal scorer, SWPL Player of the Month for May at the end of last season, and continuing that form. I did wonder, Emma, if there was maybe a bit of expectation on Chinchilla this season with everything she did in the latter part of last season, but that answers that question, doesn't it?
Yeah, certainly, and I feel for me, she lit up the season last year, wasn't she? She's fantastic on the ball, she's very creative, looking to take on the defenders, face them up in a 1v1 situation, and she'll be huge for Glasgow City again this season.
Motherwell looking to get some possession and just settle down with the ball in control. The throw-in will go the way of the visitors. See Motherwell captain Jill Ingles there, versatile midfielder, extended her contract for a 3rd season. The steal was McDonald-Ngoy. Potter trying to get in there, but the free kick will go against Motherwell and go Glasgow City's way. Just from your experience, Emma, how important will it be for Motherwell to just settle down and get some possession and try and get sort of a hold in the game after losing that opening goal if they can?
Yeah, it'll be huge. They just have to regroup, you know. They've obviously set out a game plan, and although the goal was scored early on within 30 seconds, they've just got to regroup, to communicate a little bit better. You can see obviously they've changed their formation going into this game. You see they're playing with 3 centre backs today with the wing backs, so that'll be vitally important for them to stick together, to regroup, and communicate with each other.
Foley's cross will be headed away. And there's the shot from Cat straight into the chest of Kim Ramsey. Glasgow City have the shooting boots on. There's only just over 3 minutes gone in this first half. Caught it very well. Good save from the goalkeeper, and that will help Ramsey as well. Kaylin Meekie has the ball for Glasgow City. Philip Delu holding things up, finds City captain Joe Love. Here's Foley. There's Dodds on her right on the touchline. There's the new signing, Tyler Dodds, looking to get into a crossing position. Overruns the ball, and the throw-in will go Motherwell's way for Ailey Martin to take on loan from Rangers. Something we've saw from the changes that Paul Brimley's made to his squad already. A lot of youth in there to the existing youth that was already in that Motherwell team. Definitely with an eye on progression and moving forward in the future. Also a number of players that he's worked with in the past. Meekie finds Love. Well spotted pass. Foley looking to burst down that side. Gets a good cross in and it flashes across goal. Nobody there to take it. Fisher, Fulatadilu were waiting in the 6-yard area. Already see the intent from Megan Foley, trying to push down that right side. Motherwell looking to work the ball out of their defensive third. Opportunity again for City, and Cass's effort is a beautiful effort, but also a superb stop from Ramsey. And it'll be the first corner of the afternoon to Glasgow City.
That was a fantastic strike. You know, she's just opened up her body. But for me, it's a fantastic save also. Kim Ramsey's matched that there. And you know, this is a big threat again for Glasgow City here. We'll obviously be looking to take advantage of this corner here.
Dodds with the outswinger. He's there for City. And there's the header into the back of the net. And it's Claire Walsh above everyone in that penalty area. And with just over 5 minutes gone here at Petershill, it's now Glasgow City 2, Motherwell 0.
That's a fantastic header. She's rose early. She's got good power on it. You see it here. She's up early. Brave header. Excellent finish.
And you hear the announcement. That's her first Glasgow City goal. 6 appearance today for the 26-year-old defender. And Glasgow City are certainly starting the SWPL 1 campaign the way they finished off last season. Motherwell just quickly trying to get the ball forward again through Ingalls, but her touch finds no one. And Glasgow City will have possession again with the throw, but a lot of thinking to do now for Paul Brownlee, Emma.
Yeah, a lot. You know, it's not the start that they've hoped for. I think they've just got to, as I've mentioned, they've got to try and regroup, you know, communicate with each other, don't get too frustrated, try and retain possession a little bit, keep the ball. I think for me, they just look a little bit nervous, Motherwell, getting into the game today. Here they've got a break in play. They'll be looking obviously to put the ball into the box, as I've mentioned. The likes of Claire Crosby goes up, or Chelsea Watts, you know, they're a huge threat in the box.
What would you put the nerves down to? Is it just that new look team, new shape, sort of just trying to understand and get used to each other?
Yeah, obviously new players, new manager. Not just that, also playing against Glasgow City. You know, Glasgow City are the team to beat. No one likes coming up against Glasgow City, especially here at Petershill, their new home. There's been so many great nights and great occasions and great victories here that Glasgow City have come out on top at Petershill. So it's a place that not all teams will want to come to, and they feel that they may not be able to get anything from the game. So for Motherwell, they've just got to try and stay in the game as long as possible, you know, regroup, be focused, communicate with each other and try and stop Glasgow City.
Best Chia in the penalty area, and Motherwell get that one clear, but every time Glasgow City get the ball forward, they look threatening. There's Katz, who has had a couple of opportunities, finds Meekie, looking to find space for the cross. Lays it off to Katz, good work for Lutadulu in space. She go driving in and wins the corner. The second for Glasgow City. And that intent again, every Glasgow City player picking up the ball, just driving forward in attack.
Glasgow City are looking extremely sharp for me, aren't they? They're playing on the front foot, and they'll be obviously looking to put the game to bed early on, as I've mentioned, and get the 3 points and hopefully keep a clean sheet.
Walsh, maybe a danger again here. City go short. Chinchilla can't get the pass back. Motherwell get it clear. City have the throw. Cody Hay was extremely impressive in the game against Glasgow City towards the end of last season, when Motherwell pushed the champions all the way in a 4-2 defeat. Looked close at times, but there was much excitement as he's worked towards the end of the season. Crichton gives the ball away. To Dillou, having a look to cut it back. Joe Love's there. Strike blocked. Watson can't get it away cleanly. Drops to Love again. Foley helps out. Love spots Filutadilou on that left wing. Hands raised. Nothing given by the ref and the assistant. And that passes behind, but City will keep it alive. Cats with the turn. Chinchilla. Miki. First time delivery across goal again. And Ailey Martin just happy to stick that one behind. Taylor Dodds just waiting behind.
That's an excellent cross from Miki there. It's in a dangerous area just between the goalkeeper and the back line, and any touch in that towards the goal, it could be an own goal, but no, fantastic defending there by Martin at the back post.
Hull City mix up the set piece again. Joe Love's moves short. Dodds swings it in once more. There's the header from Walsh again. Crichton can't get it clear. Ingalls helps out. But Motherwell have no one up the pitch. And it'll be another Glasgow City attack here. Cat squeezes out the space. She thinks about it again. It's a lovely clip ball over the top, looking for Fisher. The flag is raised low. Taylor Fisher looking to get on in the act as well. The assistant's flag prevents her from getting any effort on goal. It's her 4th appearance of the season in all competitions for Taylor Fisher. As I said earlier, made her first start against Hamilton in the SWPL Cup. Also came off the bench for her Champions League debut against Birkirkara.
I've been so impressed with Kat so far at the opening game. She's had a few shots off, and she's just picking up the ball in the right areas, just behind Fisher, and here she is here, getting on the ball again. She's looking to be creative, be the one that starts the attacks, and just short there with the through ball. But no, I'm really impressed with Kat so far.
Already looking at home in the Glasgow City midfield. There's Miki again. Crichton stops any way through. Sliding challenge from Love on McDonald and Gua. Claims either side. Motherwell will have the throw. Joe Love named the permanent captain of Glasgow City after the departure and retirement of Leanne Ross, but only to the coaching staff. City once again. Filutadilou picks up. He goes her way over the halfway line. Miki tries to skip the challenge. Motherwell just putting up a wall, trying to prevent Glasgow City from coming through. It's a good challenge. Foley. Lots of space for Dodds. Can't get to the ball. And that one out for the throw.
Yeah, that was just overhit there for me. I think Martin could be a wee bit closer. To the wide player, to Foley there, especially when you're playing free at the back. You can allow your fullback, your wing backs to go a little bit wider, closer to the wide player, and it just closes that gap down, and it's less running for her. But it'll be interesting to see how the game goes in terms of Motherwell playing with a back three. It's something that they've not done.
Adams, ball deflected into the area. Crichton will clear. Again, straight to the Glasgow City defence. Janine van Vick will recycle the ball. There's Lee Alexander in goal. So a late change for Glasgow City from the team lines we expect. An early touch of the ball, but Glasgow City can't keep a hold of it there. There's Vitel Katz, as Emma mentioned, looking sharp so far for Glasgow City. Motherwell have the attack. Ingles trying to Dart the ball down for McDonald and Guat. She'll get a second attempt. Starts in SWPL 1 for the Motherwell captain last season. All her appearances with starts. And that's how important she is to this Motherwell side. As Adams tries to keep the ball in play but unable to do so. A little bit difficult there for Motherwell when they get up to that final third, just to try and keep a hold of the ball and create something from it, Emma.
Yeah, that's disappointing for Motherwell. In situations like that in the final third, you'd be looking, as you've mentioned, to try and retain the ball, play in City's half, push up a little bit, put pressure on, as we can see here. That there was disappointing, just lack of throw in there, you throw it to feet, keep the ball, try and win a corner, try and win another throw in, keep the ball in the final third, as I've mentioned.
And Cody Hay trying there. Glasgow City once more will build from the back. Donald and Guata looking to try and prevent Walsh from advancing forward. Foley's long ball. What to do here? Ramsey manages to get it clear from Joanne Addy's pass back. Inglesfield again, just one thing. As much as Motherwell haven't had a lot of the ball in the first half so far, Emma, Jill Ingalls is everywhere. She's on it most of the time for Motherwell. And it's really important for her to get a bit of support and some open passes available as they move forward.
Yeah, she'll be vital for them today. She's got the captain's armband. She's influential to her teammates on and off the park. She'll be looking for some assistance and some help on the pitch. She's a fighter. She'll be looking to put in hard tackles. She'll be looking to drive her team forward and help them obviously defensively playing that wing back role.
Dodds again. Skips past beautifully. Space and time. Can't pick out the cross. Young Crichton blocks the ball and behind for another Glasgow City corner. This is Leanne Crichton, announced by Motherwell on their new social media page for the women's side ahead of the new season at the beginning of July. It'll be a big part this season. Cross in, there's Van Veek. Goes time to clear. Just drags it away out of that 6-yard area. Would you say Motherwell starting to look a bit more comfortable, Emma, just defending those crosses?
Yeah, I feel they look less nervous now. They've got a foothold in the game. They know what's expected today. Yeah, they look a bit more comfortable. They're pressing higher up, In the first few minutes of the game, I feel like Leanne Crichton and Claire Adams were almost in line with the back five. They've now pushed the defence has pushed them up, which then allows obviously to push up Kayla and Cody Hay and just put a little bit of pressure on Glasgow City. Get round about them, put pressure on the ball, hassle them, make tackles, get close to them, make it physical. Something that Glasgow City don't like to play against.
Foley standing over the free kick. Almost everyone forward for the hosts this afternoon. Looking to add to their 2-goal lead at the moment against Motherwell. Olivia Potter there on loan from Celtic. Another new addition from Paul Brownlee. There's Kayla Meekie with the ball for Glasgow City. Was looking for Dodds at the back. First time pass was looking for Chinchilla. Jolov keeps it alive. Dodds once more. Again skips round Martin. Didn't quite catch the cross cleanly. Away at the front post. Chinchilla helps it back up in the air. And Watson has to clear. And he happy to get it away. Walsh for Van Veek.
That was fantastic play there from Dodds, wasn't it? Down the side again, skipping by Martin and getting her cross into the box.
Dulu tries to get the shot away. Chinchilla on the edge of the area, as is Meekie. Just can't get it out of her feet. Potter now will try and hold the ball up for Motherwell. Donald Ngwa. Cody Hay trying to make the run forward, as was Jill Ingalls. Donald Ngwa's done well to win the ball back. Long for Hay, and the flag raised on the far side by the assistant. Just little glimmers from Motherwell there.
Yeah, that was much better from Motherwell. Kayla did fantastic there, holding up the play. She's just looking for some support. But for me, Jill Ingles, in that situation there, she's ran by Kayla. For there, she's looking for support to play in front of her. She can't play a blind pass round the corner, which she tried to do, and then lost possession.
So run there, long Crichton on Kayla Meekie. It's a former Glasgow City player, just make sure she's okay. Bit of a late one, Emma.
Yeah, that was late from Leanne Crichton, and she recognises that. She stopped the play, and it's good to see Kayla Meekie back up on her feet.
Chinchilla, scorer of the first goal, Joe Love, who now finds Foley. Foley turns well. Dodds in front again. Fisher finds Dodds. Good quick play from Glasgow City, and Taylor Fisher just stabbing the ball, goal bound. But Kim Ramsey there again.
That's a fantastic bit of play there. You know, Foley's taking a run down the side. Fisher's linked up the play with Dodds, and you know, that's fantastic play. And they'll be obviously looking to do that as the game goes on. Commit Motherwell, you know, face them up going forward, and that's what they're doing now.
He right back at it again, bursting down that left side. Low ball. Fisher turns. Katz was on the end of the area. That's who she was looking for. What can Motherwell do here? Hey. Gains some ground, looking for some help. But the pass wasn't on there as Martin checked her run. Before they made her senior debut at Glasgow City as a 16-year-old. Katz finds Fulitadilu. All the space in the world in front. Down on the goalkeeper, turns Ramsey beautifully and into the back of the net from Odi Fulitadilu. And Glasgow City make it 3 with only 20 minutes on the clock. Glasgow City 3, Motherwell 0.
That's an excellent finish, and again, Katz involved again. Played a fantastic ball through, and Fulitadilu, she's just faced up the goalkeeper, faked to have her shot, cut inside, and finishes it off to the outside of her foot. Excellent finish, and Katz again being influential.
She scored a hat-trick against Motherwell in April at Broadwood. And she's off the mark for her league campaign tally. Her 4th goal in 5 appearances this season. Odi Fulitadilu doing what we saw as she started her Glasgow City career last season. But very, very difficult for Motherwell and Paul Brownlee now. If it wasn't already with the 2-goal lead. And that man, Grant Scott, will be delighted from his side start.
Absolutely, he will be extremely delighted. You know, they've started fantastically well. However, Paul Brownlee, I'm sure he'd have been under no illusions that today was going to be difficult. He would have known that, and I'm sure he's worked extremely hard on the training field to try and maintain the scoreline as the game goes on. And it was always going to be difficult for him, and he would have known that from the offset. And you can see that by how they've set up in terms of playing with a back 5, and it just shows you also, yeah, you've got the back 5 in there. However, you're playing against quality players who are still able to break you down.
Glasgow City trying to use that pace to get in behind the Motherwell defence again. Adams, Watson, long for McDonald and Blatt, looking to get on the end of this. Walsh stretches the toes to that one to help it back to Lee Alexander. Van Beek's pass intercepted by Adams. Motherwell spring a quick attack here. Adams will go again, but Dodds back in defence to win the ball back. Glasgow City will just settle it down this time. Meekie making that run forward. Fulitadilu, fresh from scoring. Here Adams again digging in to win the ball, but it breaks for City once more. Foley looks for Love. Options in the wide areas. The flag goes up on this right-hand side. It's Fisher looking to try and get in behind the defence again. But one thing that we've seen so far in the 23 minutes at Petershill, Emma, is the pace of Glasgow City, getting in behind the Motherwell defence, they're just playing on the shoulder. You see from the first goal from Chinchilla, the second one was Walsh's header, but then the third goal again, Fulatadilo just breaking in behind, one-on-one with the goalkeeper, all that space there to apply the finish.
Yeah, and they're picking up great areas on the pitch, you know, and they're playing between the full-back and the centre-back, so they're playing in between players, and as defenders I'm not sure who's picking them up, so it's extremely clever from the Glasgow City players, and as you say, they're looking very sharp, very quick off the mark, playing on the front foot, and that's the intensity they want to play every game at, and today's no different.
There we are again, Katz looks for Foley, has two at the back post, that cross looked like it was on point for Chinchilla. Well, it was just heavy in the end. Motherwell complained that no flag was raised. It is now for the goal kick to Motherwell. Again, just the line of Glasgow City attackers looking to get in behind once more.
Yeah, for me, I think that you'd be looking to get a shot off there. Megan Foley, I think she was caught in two minds. Does she cross it? Does she have a shot? She was in a great position here just to... She didn't have to take that extra touch, get the shot off, but it was a fantastic run she made. You know, she broke the lines. For me, she was onside.
Motherwell looking to move out from the back. Van Beek in front of McDonald and Gua. Chinchilla, that ball stopped before it reached Fulatadilo. He juggling the ball. Ingles tries to help out. Just bouncing around in there. McDonald and Gua looking to put pressure on the City defence again. She's done well. Support either side. Here's Hay. Martin's moved forward as well, just out of your picture on the left. Numbers in the box for Motherwell, and they win their first corner of the afternoon.
Yeah, that's positive play again. Kayla again involved, holding the play up, taking the pressure off her defence and linking up with Cody. And they've got a corner here, and as I've mentioned previously, you know, Crosby, Chelsea, Watson, you know, they're very attack-minded in set pieces, so they'll be obviously looking to make this count.
Crosby's already scored 2 goals this season in the SWPL Cup. There's the header from Watson. She's also deadly in the area to attack the ball. But that one didn't find the target. Katz clears. Chinchilla looking to bring that one down. Ingles, who stayed back, managed to intercept and just prevent any quick Glasgow City counter-attack. Van Beek. See the wall of amber and claret from Motherwell, just trying to lock close spaces that Glasgow City have been finding so far in the first half. Megan Foley, it's her birthday at the start of July, 28-year-old now, can play a number of positions for Glasgow City. Cody Hay does well there, wins the ball off Miki, bursting into the box, gets the cross, across the face of goal. Don't think it was read by McDonald and Gua. It was read by Lee Alexander, who managed to take out of there.
Yeah, that was good play by Cody Hay. You know, she's pressed Nikki high, she's won the ball, she's lifted her head up and got her cross into the box. Just obviously too close to Lee there, but no, Cody's looking extremely sharp. I know off the park she's been working really hard on her fitness and on her game, and you can see that today.
Quick passing again in the midfield, sets Foley away. No one around. Fisher moving into the 6-yard area, blocked once more. That one by Joe Addy. It's another corner for Glasgow City, right up the other end. Just the quick 1-2 passing in midfield. The runners moving forward. Plenty of space for Megan Foley there.
Yeah, Megan Foley's finding a lot of space down this right-hand side here, and that's a problem that I feel that Motherwell has to address.
Dodds will deliver again. All but 4 in the area for the hosts. And towards the back post. I was thinking about the header. Away by Hay. Means for a late challenge from Motherwell. Nothing given. Dodds resets. Hanging towards the back. Fisher there moving at the back post again, just sneaking in. And Adams sends that one away. Kaelin Miki. Van Beek. And for Joe Love. Ramsey quick off her line to gather that one up. Had to be alert there, the Motherwell goalkeeper.
Yeah, that was better defending there from Motherwell. from the corner, the set piece. You know, Claire Crosby got there first, cleared the danger. The ball was recycled back in, and Leanne Crichton again sussed out the back post, sussed out the attacking options there, and managed to get her head on it and clear the danger again. So that was much better from Motherwell.
Just looking like Cody Hay having a big impact when Motherwell have the ball in the midfield area, just pressing the Glasgow City players when they're in possession as well, to try and spring some surprise. Ingles asked for the late challenge. The referee obliges. Kieran Traynor gives the free kick towards Motherwell. Just the leg of Fulitadulu clipping the Motherwell captain. It's a good position to get bodies up into the box. Adams will stand over the free kick. Looking for Watson. There's a header there. Maybe looked a little bit of a handful of the jersey from Janine van Veek there as well. But it's defended by Glasgow City. Chelsea Watson, that's a couple of occasions where she's managed to rise highest to get to the ball in those positions.
Yeah, with Motherwell's corner, she was first on the ball, and again here, it's just maybe she's timed the run too soon and she's caught underneath it there. But no, it is positive from Motherwell. It's better. They've certainly come into the game. They've grown into the game. They're certainly trying to press Glasgow City higher up.
Walsh tried to thread the ball through for Fisher. Chinchilla looking to take it down. One of the goal scorers this afternoon. We see the Chinchilla with the first, Walsh with the second on her league debut for Glasgow City. Fulitadulu grabbed the third just after 20 minutes here at Petershill Park. If you're just joining us on the opening weekend of SWPL action here in SWPL 1, Glasgow City against Motherwell, Hibernian against Spartans kicked off as the opening game at noon. Last we checked, that one was 3-0, just as it is here, as Cats goes down under the challenge. Glasgow City will get the free kick now in a promising position. It's been Motherwell that's had the last few set pieces. Just over half an hour played. Glasgow City add to the lead here. Number 5, Claire Walsh, making her way towards the back of that penalty area again. Fulitadulu, Chinchilla there, waiting for any scraps. Foley for Dodds. She's been so effective from this position. Will she be again? Dodds jinks her way in to the box. Fulitadulu back towards goal. Miki takes over, clipped up, headed away. Fulitadulu again, takes a deflection. Fisher's there to get the quick header on it. She had to react quickly. It's a really difficult one to take there, Emma.
Yeah, it was, and Dodds has done fantastic again down this right-hand side, you know, facing up the defender, creating that 1v1 situation, skipping by and getting her cross into the box. And I think she was just caught offside there. Fisher was, but no, again, excellent play from Glasgow City, and again it's coming down this right-hand side.
Referee unhappy with the movement from the goal kick, so Ramsey will have to retake. Started all 4 of the SWPL Cup games before today for Motherwell. Dodds again. And she get the delivery. Foley's waiting. Dodds sends it in, headed away. He can't clear. Ingles will help low, down she goes under the challenge from Fulitadulu. And the free kick will help Motherwell move forward now.
Great defensive header from Claire Crosby there when the ball came into the box, and Motherwell trying to squeeze the play up. No, Jill Ingles take the ball for a run, and she's managed to win the free kick, and it'll give them a lot of breathing space getting in towards half time.
33 minutes played as Motherwell look to send the ball forward again. Crosby upfield, but only finds Caitlin Meekie of Glasgow City. Cats, first time pass, finds Fulitadulu. Goes defending, and she goes under the challenge once more. Just managed to get her body in front there. It was really good defending from the midfielder. She's played there at times throughout her career, and she knows exactly what she's doing in those situations.
Yeah, she's used all her experience here. She's managed to get her body in front, and any touch from the striker, she's going to go down and win that free kick. Very clever play there.
More of a versatile midfielder these days, Gillian Ingalls. Extended her contract for a third season at Motherwell. Paul Brownlee said her attitude was excellent from the minute he walked in the door. He was happy to have her continue as captain at the club. Will she be able to lead Motherwell into an attack here from the throw? He helps it on. Donald Ngwa rolling the ball along the touchline. Is there anything Paul Brownlee can do in that attack? Is there anything different he might be able to do to mix it up? Or do you feel they're doing a good enough job when they get up to the final third so far, Motherwell?
I think Kayla's doing extremely well. You know, she's got a tough job in her hands today. She's doing well in terms of trying to hold up the ball. She's been successful in the times that she's had it, but for me she needs more support round about her to work off her. She can't just hold the ball up there. She needs runners, she needs support play to play balls through, and no, she's done extremely well so far in today's game.
Managed to win the corner through Leanne Crichton's attempted cross. Claire Adams will go across to take. Someone who also knows Paul Brownlee well. Looking forward to working with him again. She moves into her third season at Motherwell too. Again, Crosby, Watson has been the most likely from these situations so far. Crichton gets the touch with the head. Crosby thinking about the first time volley. Might fall for Potter. Fisher helps it just out of that defensive zone. Motherwell keep it alive. Martin looking for Crichton. Fully may be able to spring an attack here for Glasgow City. Charging through the middle. Looking for Chinchilla. In behind again. Her touch going to roll past that back post. It just looked like it maybe was going to creep into that far corner there. And you also had Tyler Dodds just moving in towards the back post area. But just again, that quick counter from Glasgow City. Looking to threaten once more.
Yeah, that was an excellent counter-attack from Glasgow City. And I think Chinchilla was just caught in two minds. Was she trying to shoot? Was she trying to play it across the box for Dodds coming in? But just the pace at how they broke there and the support of the players that they had in that phase of play.
Foley's cross, did that take a deflection? There's a few looks towards the assistant, but the goal kick is awarded. Just under 10 minutes to play here in the first half at Petershill Park. Over the other fixtures today in SWPL 1. Hibernian currently playing against Spartans, 3-0 the last time we checked. Heart of Midlothian taking on Hamilton Academical, one of the promoted sides, later on this afternoon. And then on BBC Alba live later on at 4:10, another promoted side, Aberdeen, taking on Celtic, which also promises to be an exciting game. And Rangers Partick Thistle, the third promoted side into the league campaign in SWPL 1 this season, postponed due to COVID issues, so they will reschedule for a later date. And also remember we have action from SWPL 2 as well, all kicking off for the SWPL season. Glasgow Girls take on Kilmarnock, that's already in play. Boroughmuir Thistle take on St Johnstone, and Dundee United against Stirling University. Also later this afternoon, as Glasgow City look to get going again. Watson manages to get the touch back to Ramsey. Looking for Adams. They will find McDonald and Ngwa. Quick passing from the Motherwell midfield. Dodds thinking about an effort. Spots the pass to Chinchilla. The touch was a little heavy. She might still get there. Kaelin Meekie. 4 in the box for City. Can't get the cross in, but will win the corner. 5th of the afternoon for the home side.
Yeah, that was slack from Addy there. You know, it was a good passage of play. You know, Mother were able to get 3 passes together. Comes to Addy. For me, she's just looking to get her touch out her feet and switch the play. She just dwelled on it too much, and Glasgow City pressed. And
Swinger Walsh there again with the header. Another deflection, another corner. Claire Walsh looking to get her second of the afternoon in this first half. Defended again by Motherwell. Glasgow City mix this one up. Dodge, that delivery sharp on top of Ramsey. Gathers at the second attempt. You see the variety of Glasgow City when they have those corners and free kicks. Motherwell defence are always left guessing on how the delivery is going to come in, Emma.
Yeah, and they've carried that on from last season. I'm sure we spoke about it many a times last season, that they do vary it. They do go short at times, and when you're looking to play a short corner, you're trying to move the players in the box, you're trying to drag people out to create more space for when your next phase of play, when the ball does eventually come into the box. So yeah, players in Motherwell in particular today obviously will be, as you mentioned, second guessing of where the ball's going to go, and it's something that Glasgow City pride themselves on in set pieces. They work extremely hard on a training pitch.
Gillinghall's dealing with another wave of attack from the home side there. Been involved in a lot in the middle and back defensively. And Crichton turns and sends it forward. Breaks for Foley. There's a touch from Katz looking for the onward run, and that was an important touch there from Addy to just get that ball out of the path of Glasgow City's attack.
Yeah, you can see Motherwell's changed it a little bit. They've pushed Martin higher up a little bit to allow Chelsea Watson to come out into that left back area. So they're looking to try and rectify that issue, because Glasgow City have had a lot of joy coming down this right hand side, and Paul Brownlee's recognised that, and he's obviously trying to prevent that happening.
Loving Katz exchange passes. Vic. Like she would be a City player at the end of June, but returned in July. Here's Miki through on goal. Has taken a little bit too much time there to just set herself up. And once again, Engels rushing back to help out the defence. It's that one where you maybe want an attacker in that position instead, would you say, Emma?
I was just going to say that, yeah, that is a defender's, shall we say, nosebleed when you're inside the box and you're not sure when to shoot or if you can shoot or not, and caught in two minds. But no, it was great defending by Jill Ingles.
Chia with a long range effort, taken again by the goalkeeper. Have to be fair to Kieran Meekie and remember that she was nominated for SWPL Goal of the Season last season for her beauty against Hearts at Oriam.
That was a fantastic goal. I'm sure we covered that game, didn't we? Yeah, that was in. She had a bit of trickery at the edge of the box and she opened up with her left foot, and that was a fantastic goal.
Yeah, that's right. Missed out on the award blow as Amy Bullock's rocket for Partick Thistle claimed the prize. Chinchilla through on goal, has a look towards the assistant, touches it over for Fulatadulu, who has time to set herself up on the left foot and puts it into the empty net. And with only 3.5 minutes to go to half time, it's Glasgow City 4, Motherwell 0. That ball over the top from Tyler Dodds did all the work. Chinchilla unselfish, and Fulatadulu gets her second of the afternoon. And you may think that Paul Brownlee and his Motherwell side were just looking to keep it at 3 as they edge towards the break. But Grant Scott and his side delighted to add to their lead and make it all the more comfortable going into that half-time break, as the champions showing their style this afternoon at Petershill. Lovely work all round for that goal, Emma.
Yeah, that was such a team goal, wasn't it? It was a great through ball from Fisher, you know, dinking it over the back line, and Chinchilla timed her run extremely well, and she recognised Fulatadulu supporting her, and she's just managed to cut it across. It may have been tight for offside, but no, she's been composed. She's taken a touch inside, opened up the goal, no one there, and she's finished it. Her second goal this evening on for a hat-trick. So no, it's a great team goal, and you can just see the joy in the Glasgow City's players' face. You know, they're certainly enjoying today's game so far.
Goals all round as well. That will be something to please the Glasgow City fans. And interim head coach Grant Scott there, who's still jotting down some notes in preparation for his half-time team talk. He's got to be ecstatic with what he's seen so far, especially with the changes he's made to the squad and that big game in midweek as well. But he won't be focusing on that at the moment. Chelsea Watson trying to get the ball out of a tight area. Adams and Love on the chase. The Glasgow City captain wins it. And there's Addy to come over and stick the ball out of play. Addy, formerly of Glasgow Girls and Partick Thistle, signed for Motherwell at the end of July. A lot of experience in her career so far as well. Foley and pushed in field, can't go forward. Foley is trying to clip it through. Walsh, scorer of the second this afternoon. Ramsey will get off her line in an advanced position to collect. Just settles things down to take some instructions from the Motherwell coaching staff. Can Motherwell get a goal before the half-time break? Something we spoke about before the game, Emma, was just the fixtures that Glasgow City have had. Obviously having to juggle the SWPL Cup along with the Champions League matches as well. You do wonder about the rotation and things, but they just look like they're growing in match fitness and sharpness in this first half so far.
Yeah, they've obviously had to prepare their season sooner than anyone else due to Champions League football, and that's not something that they've never done before, you know, in the preparations of it. And yeah, you can see they are sharper, they do look fitter in Motherwell. And their depth in squad is phenomenal, you know, as we've touched on. It's almost like for like. They've obviously got a big game on Wednesday afternoon coming up. So obviously, all focus will be on today's game. However, Grant will be thinking about starting to rest players going into the second half. Bring on some players, you know, get them some minutes in preparation for Wednesday.
Donald Guad is brilliant there to drag the ball away from a City crowd. Thinks the long range effort's on. It's spilled by Lee Alexander. And was there for a Motherwell player to react, but no one far forward enough. And Glasgow City and Lee Alexander get away with one a little bit there. Yeah,
again, Kayla being involved, you know, holding the ball up, cutting inside, opening up the pitch. And you know, for me, Lee Alexander will be extremely disappointed with that. You know, she got away with one there, and Lee Alexander has to be switched on. She has to be focused. You know, she won't have much to do in today's game. However, situation like that, you know, Motherwell can just pull one out the bag. You know, she has to be focused at all times.
McDonald and Gua's got great ability with those long-range strikes. She's scored plenty of beautiful goals over her career so far. Testing Lee Alexander, a late change to the Glasgow City starting lineup, as Erin Clackers was named in the original team sheet. Motherwell will take a little bit of spirit from an effort like that. There is an opportunity to try and get on the score sheet this afternoon. Can they do so before the half-time whistle? As Jill Ingalls throws to Cody Hay. Crichton. Potter. Up into the halfway point of the Glasgow City half. Just helps push those claret and amber shirts further up towards that penalty area. There's plenty there in a line of attack for Motherwell. Cody Hay has it. And the whistle goes from referee Kieran Traynor to bring the first 45 minutes to a close at Petershill Park. And it's been a cool and stylish performance so far from the SWPL 1 champions. Priscilla Chinchilla getting the first league goal of the campaign for Glasgow City. Under 30 seconds as she burst through beyond the defence to stick the ball into the back of the net. Not long after, just a few minutes later, it was 2 for the hosts. Claire Walsh with the header from the set piece to get the second of the afternoon. A third was scored a little bit later on by Odi Fulatadulu as she managed to do brilliantly to burst through again on Kim Ramsey in the Motherwell goal and just touch the ball into the back of the net. And it was a very cool, well-worked team goal for the fourth, just a few minutes before half-time. Great work with the ball over the top from Tyler Dodds. It dropped to Chinchilla, she had a look up, she saw Fulatadulu in space, and then after the striker set herself, she managed to get her second of the first half and make it Glasgow City 4, Motherwell 0 here on the opening weekend of SWPL action, and SWPL 1 here on BBC Sports Scotland. But looking back at that last 45, Emma, you've got to say that Glasgow City just grew in confidence from that opening goal, and the sharpness just picked up after that, and they looked like they were on fire at times through that first half.
Absolutely, I've been so impressed with Glasgow City in the opening 45 minutes, and they were straight at it in the first half, you know, scoring the goal, what was it, 18 seconds, getting off the score sheet. And as I've mentioned throughout the first half, I think Cats has been really influential in the first half, and fully to do with 2 goals, and they've certainly came with some high intent today. And for Motherwell, I think they've just been taken back by it. They looked extremely nervous in the first 5 or 10 minutes. However, as the game has went on and the first half went on, they started to grow into the game, and got Kayla involved. They managed to get the ball to her, hold up play, try to take and ease the pressure off the Motherwell defence. And a big half for Motherwell, you know, and it'll be a big team talk that Paul will have to do to pick up his players to get going again from the second half.
We highlighted halfway through the first half that those sort of forward runs from Glasgow City's forward line were what created the goals. You know, you look at 3 of them, apart from the Walsh header, the goals were kind of in a similar manner, the way they broke behind the Motherwell defence. Is there anything that Paul Brownlee and his side can do to try and prevent that? Or is that just the sharpness and the pace and quality that Glasgow City have?
Yeah, it's difficult for Motherwell. I think you've got to look at the personnel who they're playing against. You know, they're top players. You can't take anything away from Chinchilla, Folatadulu, Cats. You know, they've played at an extremely high level. They're just off the back of a Champions League game where the intensity is greater than today. So, you know, they're absolutely flying at the moment, Glasgow City, especially with the opening game of the season so early on. It's difficult for Motherwell. You know, you can see that they've tried to change it towards the end of the second half. They've pushed Martin higher up on the left-hand side and brought Chelsea Watson out to the left. Because there's a big issue down the right-hand side for me, for Motherwell. You know, Glasgow City, majority of the play was coming down there, so they've tried to address that. But for me, they've got to regroup, they've got to communicate a little bit better, the Motherwell back line, you know, and try and prevent those runs from coming through. But you've got to give credit to Glasgow City in their forward play. They are on the front foot, they're playing with such high intensity, and it's a joy to watch.
We'll take a little bit of a breather here at Petershill Park, but join us shortly for the second half action, where it's Glasgow City 4, Motherwell 0 at half-time. Welcome back to live SWPL 1 coverage here on BBC Sports Scotland. As we see Motherwell head coach Paul Brownlee, who's had a difficult afternoon so far at Petershill Park, as Glasgow City have a 4-0 lead here at half-time, as we're about to get underway for the second 45. Glasgow City back onto the field, the hosts this afternoon. They'll be looking for more goals in the second half to extend an already big lead at half-time. The SWPL 1 champions. It's an afternoon where they've clicked in that first 45 minutes, whereas interim head coach Grant Scott's opponents, Motherwell, have looked good in spells going forward, but just haven't been able to make it click and have been undone at the back by the sharp pace of Glasgow City, as we see 3 changes about to be made by Grant Scott. Of course, having a look towards the Champions League fixture, second leg against Servette in midweek. You could see Claire Shine, Eve Farrelly and Dave Hilton coming onto the pitch. As you hear the announcement, giving them encouragement. And if you're Motherwell, Emma, you don't want to see someone like Claire Shine in the attack, because she has some goal-scoring record, and we just saw last midweek what she could do in the away tie at Servette with that cracking volley she scored over the shoulder from the ball from Claire Walsh, who's also got a goal in the first half, and she'll be looking to get back in amongst the goals in the league this afternoon.
No, you're absolutely right. Claire Shine coming on, and if you're a Motherwell defender, that's not someone that you want to look forward to playing against. But our goal in the Servette game was just fantastic. You know, our timing of our run, our execution of the shot, I mean, it was unbelievable finish, and that's what Claire Shine gives to. You know, she's a top player, and it's so good to see her back playing, back in the starting lineup on Wednesday, gone by in the Champions League game, and it's great to see her back to her best.
Glasgow City trying to move the ball forward from defence. Here is Claire Shine moving through the middle. Miki making that run forward, as she did so many times first half, and just as Jill Ingalls did so many times first half, trying to challenge for the ball. There's Katz with a couple of long-range efforts. There's another, and that just whistles past the post. You can't give her space on the edge of the area like that. We saw that a couple of times in the first half, Emma, and she's really looking to get her name on the score sheet this afternoon.
Yeah, that's not someone that you want to be given space to. You know, she's held her ground, she's held her area, picked up the ball, and you know, she's got all that space in front of her. She's got time to get her shot off, and for me, Motherwell should have recognised that in the first half, that you don't want to give her too much space and time in and around the box. You've got to get closer to her to close down that shot.
Just to confirm from the half-time announcement, was Claire Walsh, the scorer of that second goal, along with Joe Love and Priscilla Chinchilla, the players making way for the substitutes. Chinchilla also scoring that opening goal just under 30 seconds this afternoon, as Leanne Crichton tries to move away with the ball. Wins the free kick, quickly taken for Adams. And the flag goes up in this near side, down to her right, as Martin just trying to deliver the ball into a dangerous area. Moved a little bit too early. For Motherwell, Emma, what do you think Paul Brownlee could have said to his side at half-time to just get them encouraged and give them a task for the second half?
Yeah, it's always going to be a difficult team talk they had at half-time, but for me it's important for them to squeeze a game up, you know, press Glasgow City, and you can see obviously they've continued that shape into the second half, you know, with Chelsea Watson going out to the left-back area and pushing Martin higher up, and they've got to get closer, you know, they've got to close the gaps, play as a team, communicate a bit better, and you know, and keep fighting for each other, play as a team.
Foley finds Dodds in that space again. She has a look up, 3 in the area. Ingalls misses the clearance but manages to get it away, and the referee points to the spot. Jill Ingalls penalised for the handball. She was attempting to clear. We'll have a look at the replay, Emma. What do you think about that one?
Yeah, it's soft, but it does come off her hand, but her hand's down by her side. I think the way she's turned and angled her body, it has skimmed off her hand. It is soft. You can see why they've obviously questioned the referee on that one.
Fulton scored a penalty last season in the league, and she steps up again here. And it's saved by Ramsey. That's a super save from the Motherwell goalkeeper. Fully stretched down to her left-hand side, prevents that one sneaking inside the post. And it remains Glasgow City 4, Motherwell 0 after a super save from Kim Ramsey.
Yeah, fantastic save. You know, she's guessed the right way. You can see when Maddie Fulton stepped up to take a penalty, she's already almost opened up her body, giving away what side she's going to go at. But no, Kim's read it well, and she's done fantastic there. And you could almost say that justice has been repaid there, because it was a soft penalty in my eyes.
What can a save like that do for Motherwell? Obviously 4 goals down at the moment, but that will give them a bit that extra energy and a bit more injection for the second half, do you feel?
Yeah, it'll give them obviously more confidence, absolutely going forward, you know. And for me, they've got to get the ball to Kayla as quick as they possibly can, and give her support in and around her to try and retain possession in the final third. And you know, as I keep on mentioning it, ease the pressure off the Motherwell defence. You know, you've got, as I've mentioned, Chelsea Watson in the left back area. That's not somewhere that she's used to playing. You know, she's used to playing as the centre back, and she won't want to be going out in the wider areas and facing up the Glasgow City players in a 1v1 situation. That's not her game.
Motherwell on the attack now. So Gillingall's just trying to get that throw down towards McDonald and Gua. Again, this one in, looking for Potter, looking to keep it in play. The flag will go against the Motherwell midfielder. Alexander stands over the goal kick. I mentioned earlier, Olivia Potter's on loan from Celtic. 16-year-old with 4 Scotland under-16 caps. There's Fulton looking to recover from that penalty save up against Kim Ramsey. He with neat work. Potter heads on, but both her and Leanne Crichton go for the same ball. Claire Shine. Fulton threading in fully to Dilu. Fisher and Dodds in the area. Fully to Dilu will take her time. Shine for Cats. Dodds makes the run forward. She might get in behind. Ramsey bursting off that goal line again. Janine van Beek, South Africa's most capped player, moves over the halfway line. Cats passing in that triangle from Glasgow City. Cats tries to feed it out right for Dodds. Foley will intercept. Dodds again, first time cross. Drops to Fisher. Fulton strikes. That one always rising though. For Glasgow City again, looking to add their names onto that score sheet.
Yeah, and Maddie Fulton, she'll give you that. Those shots at the edge of the box along with Cats. You know, she scored many goals from in and around that area, and she's a goal threat, certainly going forward. But again, that was great play by Cats, you know, threading the ball through. But you know, Glasgow City have started the second half the same way they finished the first half, with a real intent, you know, playing in the front foot, playing at such a high intensity, and looking to obviously add more goals to the game.
Kim Ramsey with the goal kick. She'll feel a little bit better after that penalty save. Only appeared 6 times as goalkeeper for Motherwell last season in SWPL 1 due to a number of injury problems that Stuart Hall and Eddie Valecki-Black had in their time in charge at the club in the last league campaign. Sends the ball forward, but Glasgow City will move once more. Dodge looking to go around Watson, does so well, clips it in, comes off Fisher, she pounces again and into the back of the net. And Taylor Fisher gets her 2nd goal in all competitions this season. A start this afternoon in the SWPL 1 opener. And she's in on the act as well to make it Glasgow City 5, Motherwell 0. Crosby's clearance just couldn't get it beyond the attacker. And Taylor Fisher just allowed the ball to bounce off her and stepped up to lift the ball over Kim Ramsey and across the goal line. And that will give the 18-year-old confidence for the season ahead. Already scored this season. Also in on the goals. Scored 2 in a pre-season friendly against Motherwell, I believe. And certainly staking her claim for a place in Grant Scott's Glasgow City side. Play continues. Keelan Meaky, Motherwell asking for a stoppage. Shine has a look and sportingly agrees to put the ball out of play. Leanne Crichton taking a sore one. Just a late kick as Philly Tadulu thought the ball was there. A challenge between former teammates, Emma.
Yeah, I think Philly Tadulu's just caught Leanne Crichton there. Referees obviously missed that. I think that definitely was a foul to Motherwell and a free kick there. But just come back to the goal again, it's come down Glasgow City's right hand side. Dodds has done fantastic, you know, facing up Chelsea Watson again in that 1v1 situation, and our ball into the box was a better one on that occasion, and Claire Crosby's just obviously mistimed the clearance, and it's come off Fisher, and then she's managed to finish it off, and you know, Glasgow City obviously adding to the goal tally again.
Watson hits that one high and forward. Donangwa done well to bring that one down out of the sky. Crichton. Flag up. On the right once again to thwart Motherwell moving forward. That's something we've seen a couple of times already in the second half and the first half as well, Emma. Just Motherwell moving a little bit too early. But Glasgow City moving quickly here. Dodds once more. Fisher once again hanging around. Strikes blocked. Might fall to Fulton. And Claire Shine always rising. Maybe caught it a little bit too early. I think she knows it.
Yeah, she does. She'll be disappointed not to get her shot on target there. But again, Dodds done fantastic down this side, and she's lifted her head, picked out Fisher on this occasion, and Fisher just had her shot blocked there. But it's better play from Dodds. You know, her final ball's been better so far.
Ramsey restarts. With the first time cushioned pass forward. Donangwa lays it off for Hay. There's a couple of options for Motherwell. 2 number 7s battle. Jean van Vick steps up and starts a City attack. Dodds once more. Tries the shot with the left foot. Well, she's crossed the ball from that position many times in the first half already, but I feel like she wants to stop turning provider and add her name to that score sheet, Emma.
Yeah, no, it's different this time. She's tried to cut in and open up the goal for her, and she's just obviously dragged her shot wide there. But yeah, in games like this, as an attacking player, she'll be looking obviously to try and get on the score sheet, absolutely.
Ball over the top of a chain of players. Crosby. Farley and Fulton combined. Shine trying to play it forward. And goes in the way. Trying a little bit of trickery to bring the ball down. And Farley will go forward. Fulton for Foley. Tyler Dodds. Do you feel, Emma, that fifth goal's maybe just taking a bit of the energy out of Motherwell now?
Yeah, I think so. You know, I think even the first half had taken a lot of energy, taken a lot of confidence as well from the Motherwell players. But No, they've still got to keep on playing, still got to keep on fighting for each other and try and keep the scoreline down now going forward.
Fisher tries the neat little back heel. Glasgow City claim the throw. There goes the visitors' way. Chelsea Watson will move across to take. She was a key player last season for Motherwell. She will be again, you feel, this season. We saw the presence she has in attack. It hasn't come off for her so far this afternoon. And Paul Brownlee and Motherwell. But as the Motherwell head coach looks to rebuild the side and kick off his era in the league campaign, she will be an important player. You do see a couple of changes about to be made by the Motherwell head coach in the next stoppage of play. Foley back in play, receives it again. Glasgow City looking to switch sides. Miki couldn't take the ball into her stride and goes forced out. Fulatadilu. Pressed by Motherwell, but a loose ball. Clean for Miki to pick up. Van Vick. Cat's quick thinking. Farley finds Fulton. Foley back to Fulton. Clips it over, two in the area. Will fall for Dodds. She stabs that one wide. She just thought about it quickly to poke it towards the goal, but that one not on target. And Tyler Dodds again showing her threat all round in that attacking third.
Yeah, it was good link-up play there by Megan Foley and Maddie Fulton, you know, giving go 1-2 and Maddie lifting her head and getting the ball into the box. You can see Glasgow City, you know, their link-up play, their 1-2 touch is just fantastic. It's a real joy to watch. And even coming on, Farley coming onto the pitch, you know, playing in a different position. You know, normally she'd be in centre mid, and she's playing centre back today. And Claire Shine dropping into the midfield from her usual number 9 role. So you can see obviously the change in personnel, but also how well they can adapt, and it just shows you how experienced they are.
Number 4, Chelsea Watson being replaced by number 11, Laurie Gardner.
You just see Laurie Gardner, Nicole Kearney and Holly Napier on for Motherwell. So a chance for a few more attacking players to get in on the act. Laurie Gardner we know well from last season at Motherwell. Nicole Kearney and Holly Napier, new additions as Fulatadilu looking to threaten once more and goes in again, trying to set away Cody Hay. That one's heavy. We'll just go through those substitutions again in a minute. Fulatadilu. There's a few into the back post here for Glasgow City. Runs across Miki, helps it on for Katz. Her effort into the back of the net with the right foot, lifted it beyond the Motherwell goalkeeper, Kim Ramsey. And she had a couple of efforts in the first half, but she eventually finds her scoring touch on her league debut for Glasgow City. And it's now Glasgow City 6, Motherwell 0.
Score for Glasgow City after 61 minutes. Scored by number 8, Vito Katz.
Do you know, it's a great finish, and it came from Miki. You know, she started the play, you know, and Fulatadilu timed her run excellent behind Jill Ingles, and she's managed to lift her head and pick out Miki in the box, so she's carried on her run to support the play. And Katz has been so composed, you know, she's taken her first touch, had a look up and opened up her foot and had her shot off excellently. And that's nothing that she doesn't deserve that. She does deserve that, sorry. Today she's played extremely well so far in the game, Katz, and we spoke about her in the first half, and she's continued her performance into the second half, and she's got her goal in the end.
Glasgow City coasting towards the first 3 points of the SWPL 1 season. And Paul Brownlee looking to make those changes to try and just give his side some fresh legs moving forward in the remainder of the second half. Unable to prevent Glasgow City adding to their lead, and you have the feeling they'll keep continuing to do so. Shine looking for Miki, tries to keep that one in play, doesn't manage to do so. wasn't for all the attacking players that are in that forward line of Glasgow City as well. The fullbacks, Foley, Miki pushing forward, even the midfield as well. Just Glasgow City have had such a high position up the pitch in this game, Emma.
Yeah, they have, and that's always been the case over a number of years at Glasgow City, that they do have attacking fullbacks going forward that like to be involved. But first and foremost, as a defender and as a fullback, that is your job, is to defend, and if you're able to do that, then you can then go and support the play, and Megan Foley and Kayla Miki has done that extremely well today, and they've been involved in the phases of play that's then led to the goals. And you know, you give that going forward, it just adds, as you says, it adds to the attacking players, it adds to their style of play.
Finds Foley to do it. Fulton, keel into the path is nice. Well, get the ball out. Smashed away upfield, but Laurie Gardner unable to chase that one, way too heavy.
Yeah, Laurie's a different type of player to Kayla. You know, Laurie will be trying to make her runs into the channels, you know, trying to stretch the game, whereas Kayla, when she was on, we were trying to link up the play. So it's two different types of players, and obviously looking to change that to Motherwell going forward towards the end of the game.
Megan Foley was a bit too heavy with that one. Motherwell tussling for the ball. We're looking to get an attack in the second half, especially with those new forward substitutions that just made their way onto the field. Fulton, Fisher lays off for Cats, most recent scorer with the 6th goal. Thinks about another. Ramsey across with the save, tips that one round the post. It's difficult to get her fingers to that one. Didn't want to collide with the post at the same time. Happy to concede the corner to City.
Fantastic play again from Kat. You know, to step over onto her left foot on this occasion, but Kim Ramsey's matched that, and she's done extremely well to put it round the post to knock it out for a corner.
Fulton will go over to take substitution for Glasgow City before the corner's taken. Megan Foley and Philippa going off. With Noble and Maya Bates coming on to the field. So Eve Noble made her Champions League debut off the bench against Birkirkara. Maya Bates made her debut in the league last season, coming off the bench against Hearts at home in the league at Broadwood. So with the 6-goal lead, chance to get some first team minutes for the youngsters. Fulton's corner's low. She may be able to swing it high this time. Shine heads it back in. Motherwell players battling to get that one away. Noble trying to bring it down. Ingalls takes over for Motherwell. What can the visitors do here? Pass played through. And Nicole Kearney just looking to get in behind, but that offside flag again, preventing them from doing so.
Yeah, I think she was looking for it to be played earlier, and she was onside. She timed her run, she was trying to delay it, and unfortunately City had held their line. They were a really good line. You could hear the shout from the Alexander stating to hold, and yeah, it was disappointing for Motherwell there, but it's so good, as you've mentioned, to see the youngsters coming on from Glasgow City. You know, they've got a really good academy supporting the first team, and it's fantastic to see graduates coming in and getting minutes, and especially obviously with the first team, they're playing with top class international players.
Claire Crosby there, stopping Glasgow City coming down the left side. She's a player that Paul Brownlee said he had to work hard to bring her to the club. As he said, she wants to be part of a special thing happening at Motherwell, and she'll be an important part of that defence for the remainder of this league season. Delivery in, headed away. He's waiting on the whistle there from referee Kieran Traynor. Obviously, sometimes the substitutions, Emma, can take a little bit of the sting out of the game and the pace as well at times, but it's important for Glasgow City to look towards that game in midweek with the 1-1 draw, and also for Motherwell, they won't be wanting to concede any more goals too. So is it that kind of game with the changes at the start of the season, get players minutes, and that might creep into the game a little bit going towards the full-time whistle?
Yeah, absolutely, and you can see obviously with the changes that Glasgow City had made at half-time, you know, bringing off the likes of Joe Love and Chinchilla and Walsh, you know, they will more likely will start on Wednesday night, and for Glasgow City's point of view, they just wanted to come out the game, as I've mentioned in the first half, come out the game with 3 points, hoping for a clean sheet without any injuries, and then they can start to rest players, and then we can see bringing on youngsters. But it does take the sting out the game when you're making changes, substitutions, change of personnel. It does take the sting out. It brings the intensity down a bit, because it's also hard as a sub coming on and playing at that intensity, playing at that level. And you're right, for Motherwell, they'll be looking at it, not looking to concede any more goals. In all honesty, for Motherwell coming here, I don't think they would have believed that they were able to get the 3 points today. Glasgow City were always going to go into the game as favourites, and they would have had no doubts about that. But for them, they're obviously looking to utilise their squad, get players on the pitch, get some minutes, and build towards obviously the rest of the season. And they'll be looking obviously to take points from teams below them or in and around them, and for Motherwell, I'm sure they've got aspirations to try and finish mid-table for this season.
Joanne Addy there after some treatment, getting a little bit more over beside that corner flag. A versatile player that can cover a few positions in defence and midfield. Big part of the Partick Thistle team, had a strong defensive record in SWPL 2 in 2019, and Partick Thistle were a team we'll see in SWPL 1 this season, as Paige McAllister will come on in place of her in defence. McAllister was a bit of a surprise addition to us there just before the kick-off today, Emma, on the bench. She's picked up important minutes with Hearts last season, and obviously learning at Celtic too. She'll be another good player for Motherwell to have in the season going forward.
Yeah, of course she will. I was really impressed with her, how she performed at Hearts, you know, and it's important for a young player like Paige McAllister to get minutes in the SWPL 1, and she'll be looking obviously to progress her career. And if she stayed at Celtic at this moment in time, would she have got many minutes? I'm not sure, because they've got the likes of Chloe Craig, Caitlin Hayes in defence. So she's obviously looked at that herself and looked at the opportunities, and she's felt that Motherwell was a good fit for her. I'm sure she's worked with Paul Brownlee before at Celtic Academy when Paul was there, and obviously at youth level at international. So yeah, it'll be important for her. I think she will be a big player. As I said, I was impressed with her when she was at Hearts. She's a very good communicator for someone being so young.
Dodds going back to move forward. Eve Farrelly, Republic of Ireland International, to clear shine. Fulton, good work there, but Glasgow City have it again. Catch just trying to feed the ball through, but Martin again alert to the pass. Ramsey helping up towards Crichton, and Martin away once more, giving Kearney something to chase. Crichton now, ball played off her, and Glasgow City have the throw. Caelan Meekie, a player that interim head coach Grant Scott knows well from his time as Hibernian head coach. Katz, Fulton back to Katz, fake the shot. Fulton once more, good movement and play between the two. It doesn't come to anything in the end. Ramsey spots the space. Noble trying to head it away from any danger. That's good work from Gemma Hughes on as a substitute just a few moments ago. Ramsey high, looking for Gardner. Eve Noble heads it forward once more. Shine over the top. Dodge looking to threaten. Ball played to Katz. Sees the opportunity. Vital Katz, it's off the post and cleared away by McAllister. And helped on by Crosby. Glasgow City just picking that moment in the game. And Katz looking to add to her goal already this afternoon. Dodds can't get the cross in, and the flag also up on the far side from the assistant. And just with that one flick of a switch, Emma, Glasgow City can add to their lead, but it's not to be from the left-hand post as we're looking at the game.
Yeah, you know, it was a poor clearance from Ramsey, but Katz has picked it up, you know, and she's taken a touch by McAllister, opened up the goal, and the post obviously came to the saviour there for Motherwell, but no, it was poor from Kim.
And Vitel Katz is one that you've been very impressed with this afternoon, you were saying at half-time.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with her. You know, this is my first time actually seeing her playing in the flesh as a live game, but she's been very influential. You know, she's been involved in 2 goals, and she's also got on the score sheet herself. So no, I'm extremely impressed with her, and such a talented player, and she's only still 21, so she's obviously still developing in the game also.
There's a chance here for Motherwell. It's Hughes looking to pick up the second ball in the penalty area, but the referee's whistle goes against her. And Glasgow City will have the free kick. Just over 15 minutes to play at Petershill Park. It's Glasgow City 6, Motherwell 0. Vitel Katz chance from Israel International. The closest we've come for a little while to another goal here. It was Katz who got the 6 for Glasgow City. Here she is on the ball. Jean van Veek looking for Niamh Noble. Noble called up to the Scotland under-17s training camp at the end of last season as well in June. She has 2 under-16 caps to her name. Slotting in on the left side of Glasgow City's defence. Napier trying to take over as Hughes ahead. Van Veek sliding to stop the ball from getting through. Fulton for Miki. There's Maya Bates. Claire Shine. Here's Noble. Dodds moving forward. Noble moves inside. Shine looking to spread the play. Glasgow City just keeping their patience. Fulton forced back by Claire Adams. Miki to catch, trying that quick bit of inventive play to try and get beyond the defence, but no one making the run. Motherwell can't get out of their half. Crichton collects. Challenge on Adams. Referee allows play to continue. Shine going on a drive. No one in the area, so goes long range. It just bounces before getting to Kim Ramsey, and an easy take for the Motherwell keeper.
Yeah, I don't think Claire Shine caught that cleanly there, and it's just bounced through to Ramsey. But in games like this, I've been really impressed with Van Veek. She's been so composed. Any situation that she's had to deal with, she's dealt with it comfortably. And games like this, when you don't have to make as many defensive challenges or clearances, you then have to show a bit of composure on the ball, and she's certainly done that. So I've been impressed with her today also.
Napier just cushioning the header back to Crichton. Adams to Kearney. Miki intercepts. Has Bates on the right. Decides to go back the way. Farrelly will eventually find Bates. Just sailing her way in field. Shine with a great pass with the outside of the right foot for Dodds. Cushions it back with the left foot. Shine again. Quick passing into a space, but no one in the Glasgow City away shirt there. Miki. Bates looking to deliver. Miki continued the run and goes away. Motherwell just can't really get out of their defensive third at the moment, but this throw will allow them the opportunity.
Yeah, you can see Glasgow City have taken a step back, I feel, down to the substitutions also, and the personnel coming on the pitch. They seem to have, the intensity's dropped for me a little bit, going towards the end of the game, and that will suit Motherwell. But, they'll obviously try and get on the score sheet, try and be more positive, try and push up the play.
How do you think Paul Brownlee will be feeling in his coaching staff with the way the second half's went, Emma?
It's been much better in the first half. I think he'll be happier. I won't say he's delighted, but he'll be happier compared to the first half. And these Motherwell players, they'll take a lot from this game also. It's a learning experience for them as well, playing against top players. And Paul and his coaching staff, including Leanne Crichton, they'll go away and they'll analyse the game, and a look at individual performances and see what they can improve in going forward.
A late challenge on Niamh Farley. Free kick awarded by the referee. Have another look at that one. Gemma Hughes challenging for the ball. Niamh Farley had a difficult time with injury last season after being on international duty. Only the 4 appearances, but 4 goals in that spell in the SWPL 1 campaign last season. There's Claire Adams. Farley intercepts, but Adams has it again. Can play from the midfielder. 22-year-old just passing that one back to the goalkeeper. That allows the away side to keep possession. Here's Claire Crosby. She's given it away to Vital Katz. Crosby can't make the sliding challenge, and Katz leaves it beautifully for Fisher, but she can't apply the finish. Very unselfish play again from Glasgow City, and that time Vital Katz. Fisher maybe a little too excited, trying to get another goal this afternoon.
Yeah, you know, Claire Crosby here's just taken too many touches, and Katz has pressed her high, won the ball back, and for me, Fisher has got more time than she can actually imagine. You know, she could have taken a touch there, but she's just opened up her foot, and it's just obviously not connected with the ball properly, but she'll be disappointed with that. But she's found herself in the correct place, in the correct position on the pitch, and she's done extremely well today going forward.
We have watched a little bit of a reverse no-look pass from Vital Katz trying to fool Kim Ramsey, but it didn't work. And here's Vital Katz trying to spin and send one towards goal, but that again won't cause any danger to Kim Ramsey. Emma spoke earlier how impressed she's been with Vital Katz. Spent the last few years in the USA. 21-year-old midfielder. Looks like she's slotted into Glasgow City's side this afternoon quite comfortably, but so have all the new faces that we saw kicking off the league campaign in their Glasgow City career, Emma.
Yeah, they have, and that's obviously down to Grant Scott and his coaching team in terms of when they've returned to training during pre-season. They've had to come back sooner than anyone else, so I think that helps a lot. Also, I'm sure the girls, they're training full time. You know, that allows them to then build communication and build relationships on the park and also off it. And you wouldn't handpick any players and say, oh, they haven't fitted into the team today, and they've really bedded into the squad, and it looks like they've been here for a number of months.
Clever work from the on-loan Rangers defender, Ailey Martin there, playing the ball off the Glasgow City attacker to win the goal kick. And there is Grant Scott. He said he didn't look forward to his trips over to Petershill Park in the past as Hibernian head coach, but certainly enjoying things a lot more here nowadays as he sees Glasgow City through a little transitional period at the start of this season. McAllister heads the ball away, one for Napier. Shine finds Noble. For second appearance in all competitions this afternoon. Nikki for Farley. Team from Vic. And for SWPL 1 Player of the Year last season. Finds Noble. Tyler Dodds. Threatening ball, and it comes off the head of Claire Crosby. Just looking to defend that one and take the pressure off, but threatened, and you could hear from the groans of the crowd how close that one appeared.
Yeah, it was, and it's again, Dodds has switched wings. She's now on the left, and she's put in a dangerous cross, and you know, Crosby's risen first. She's at front post covering that area, and you know, she's managed just to knock it over the bar.
Ramsey was glued to the goal line, so we can only watch that one and hope. Glasgow City have the corner. Fulton and Shine with the ball. It's high into the 6-yard area. Farrelly's header will just creep beyond the back post. So a little bit of a sign in the energy there defending that corner as well, Emma. Just Farrelly getting the highest to the ball there, and Motherwell didn't really look close to winning the defensive header.
No, they didn't. In today's game, they've taken a lot of energy out of the Motherwell players, you know. And for me, Glasgow City are fitter than Motherwell. You can see that, it's evident in today's game. And Farley's obviously fresh legs. She's came on as a sub, and you No, they've still got a few minutes to go, Motherwell, and they've just got to try and ride this out towards the 90 minutes and try not to concede any more goals.
Over 5 minutes to play at Petershill Park. Remains Glasgow City 6, Motherwell 0. Remember, the first kick-off of the afternoon in SWPL 1 was Hibernian 3-0 winners against Spartans. It's a statement of intent, maybe, that win against the two sides that were battling out for 4th place last season. Petershill Cats moving forward, trying to clip over for Fisher, cleared away by Crosby. Gardner will get a touch, can't keep control. Fulton, a bit of space, options on her left, finds Noble, holds it in at the touchline, trying to wriggle away from the Motherwell captain, looking to win the corner and does so. Good work from the youngster.
Yeah, that's fantastic play. You know, she's managed to win him a corner. She can recognise that she's in there, and I'm sure her teammates are shouting at her to win something, and she's done fantastic there. And it's great to see, as I've mentioned, the young players coming through the City Academy and into the first team, and it's important for them to get minutes to continue their development.
Mairead Fulton ready with the in-swinger. Is low for Shine, has time, and that just darts past the post. I think she thought she caught that one better, and I think she thought it was destined for the back of the net.
Yeah, and it's something we spoke about in the first half about Glasgow City's set piece, and you can see again here that's straight off the training field, and you can see how disappointed Claire Shine is with her reaction there that she didn't get that on target. But it's a well worked corner, and I've said that they work on those set pieces on the training field every week.
Motherwell go long. Van Vick, time to bring that one down. Gemma Hughes chasing. Alexander goes high. Gardner trying everything to win the ball back. Bates trying to slip the pass through. Going to win the throw for Motherwell. Paul Brownlee's called her a very clever player. Says she's a defender with a lot of experience at a young age. She's looking to gain first team experience in the league. It looks like she will get that. She has had her moments this afternoon. Rangers will be watching on in interest at her development under the Motherwell head coach. Crosby's pass into a open space. Hughes chasing Alexander. Good effort from the youngster, just not allowing the goalkeeper of Glasgow City to have any time to think. Shine. Adams in to beat Cats. Trying to find Kearney. Bates now for Farrelly. Fulton. Shine to the wide area. Mickey trying to force her way through. Turned away. Shine to Dodds. Good work from Crosby. Gardner for Motherwell. Ingles with the run. Can't keep that one in play. Just run a little bit too heavy. Out for the throw. Just mentioned the other matches on today. Heart of Midlothian against Hamilton. It's a 2 p.m. kick-off, that one underway. You can watch Aberdeen in their opening SWPL 1 game against Celtic live on BBC Alba at 4:10 this afternoon. And all the goals and all the action from the SWPL 1 games on Sports Scene in the new slot of Monday night at 7 p.m. on the BBC Scotland channel. Join James Lewis and Gemma Fay for that one. Fulton finds Bates, looking to keep it in play. Flag goes against her, just out of your picture. The 16-year-old just trying to get another attack going for Glasgow City. A tough afternoon for Paul Brownlee. former high-performance football manager at the SFA for a number of years. An experienced coach though as well. Emma, what do you think he's going to take from this afternoon?
Yeah, I think they'll obviously look at the first half in terms of how Motherwell started, you know, to lose a goal so early on. It would be hard to then to come back from that, especially against Glasgow City. But, you know, as I've mentioned, Paul and his coaching staff will go away, they'll watch the game over, they'll cut their clips, they'll analyse, they'll look at individual performances, how can they improve, also as a team, how can they improve. They've obviously started with a formation with 5 at the back, you know, they quickly changed that in towards the first half, back to a back 4, so he may be looking at himself also to see if that was the right decision going into today's game with the back 5, then changing it to the back 4, so yeah, there's a lot you can take from this game. You can also have a look at the fitness levels in comparison to Glasgow City. You can look at that also. However, we've obviously got to give credit to Glasgow City. You know, they've been extremely well today. You know, they've played on the front foot. They've played with such a high intensity, and they've pressed extremely high. They've finished their goals really well, and the game was over within the first 15 minutes or so when Glasgow City had scored their quick goals. And they were obviously looking to tie the game up early, you know, come away with the 3 points and no injuries so far.
Adams twisting to find Kearney. There's a high ball over. Alexander made the step to her left, followed the path of the ball. Gives her head a little bit of a shake, unhappy at being tested a little bit and how easy it may have been for Kearney to get the cross in there.
Yeah, she wasn't happy there, wasn't she? Not, and that's just the standards that Lee Alexander puts forward to her team. You know, she doesn't want anyone having any shots at her goal, and she'd be looking to get someone to get pressure on and prevent that shot from happening. So, yeah, she's very important that she wants to keep a clean sheet. You've seen over the season, number of years that Glasgow City don't concede a lot of goals in the league, and they'll obviously be looking to maintain that for this season going forward.
Scotland international goalkeeper looking for her first clean sheet of the league campaign, her first league start after being a late replacement for Erin Clackers just before kick-off. Here's Dodds challenging from Ingalls. Play continues. Motherwell trying to get it clear. They will have the goal kick as the seconds tick by in this game. Tyler Dodds is really impressed this afternoon, Emma. She describes herself as loving to drive at people, getting deliveries into the box, and we've saw a lot of that. She had a lot of space at times through this game this afternoon, and she was quite impressive as well.
Yeah, she certainly is. The first half, especially down the right-hand side, she was the one that was creating the opportunities for Glasgow City in terms of her crosses into the box. However, her final ball into the box the first half wasn't great. She did the hard part and obviously getting by the fullback. Second half, she's did better.
Uses delivery, it's a cross, it's not defended cleanly by Glasgow City. Kaylee Meekie may argue with me there that she knew exactly what she was doing with the touch on the outside of the foot. But whichever way it came about, it worked out in the end for Glasgow City. I'm sure Lee Alexander was grateful to see Kaylee Meekie in the right spot there.
Yeah, that's excellent defending from Meekie there. She's managed to come in off the back post and get in front of Nicole Kearney, and they've defended it well in that situation. And it's important for games like this when you don't have many defensive situations that you've got to do throughout the game, that you've got to be switched on, you've got to be focused and suss out the danger and be switched on. And Glasgow City have demonstrated that today with their backline and also Lee Alexander.
Full-time whistle goes at Petershill Park. Glasgow City off to a flying start in SWPL 1. Last season's champions make an impression at home as they return to their more usual home this afternoon to get their league campaign underway. It's a first league win for Grant Scott, who's had a busy schedule with SWPL Cup action and Champions League action. And Glasgow City's eyes will now turn to that game in midweek, the second leg of the Champions League against Servette. But here this afternoon, it was a flying start as Priscilla Chinchilla picked up her opening goal of the league campaign less than 30 seconds in to this match. Not long after, Claire Walsh then scored on her league debut for City with a fine header to make it 2-0. Fulitadula after 20 minutes made it 3, and then again she made it 4, picking up her double just before half-time. It was 4-0 at the break. Marie Fulton had a penalty save from Motherwell goalkeeper Kim Ramsey just before the 50th minute, and then young Taylor Fisher got her first SWPL goal to make it 5. Then Vital Katz made it 6. She also got her first Glasgow City league goal just after the hour mark, and there was no further scoring in the remaining 29 minutes or so at Petershill Park. So Glasgow City with their first 3 points and a 6-0 win, and Emma Black, the performance, the goals, that will surely give them confidence going into their next game against Servette.
Absolutely, you know, and the goals that they'd scored today were fantastic. They really were, and it's extremely exciting to see Glasgow City picking up from where they left off from last season. And you look at Motherwell, you know, they've got a tough season ahead of them, especially coming up against likes of Glasgow City, Rangers, Celtics, Hibs. Hibs have improved greatly over the season break, but it's pleasing to see, you know, Glasgow City will be pleased with the 3 points, they'll be pleased with the performance, and also able to get the youth players, the academy players on the pitch to get minutes and rest the more experienced players, the likes of Joe Love, Chinchilla, and looking ahead to Wednesday now, and it's a huge game on Wednesday evening for them.
As we just see the after-match, post-match team talk from Grant Scott, the interim head coach, who is surely extremely happy with that performance, but just going over some final few words of motivation, maybe a couple of fine points of instruction. Some may have thought that Glasgow City weren't firing on all cylinders in that first leg in the Champions League midweek, but they were this afternoon against the Motherwell side, who it was always going to be difficult considering there's many new faces into Paul Brownley's setup for this season. Well, he and his coaching staff have looked at this game, maybe not one that will show the real signs of the work they've done in pre-season, and that's maybe something that will come later on in the campaign.
Yeah, and I think you've got to take into the fact of who they're playing against. You know, they're playing against the reigning champions with top international players from all over the world, so he would have looked at that also. They are a full-time team. Here at Motherwell, they've brought in 10 new players, and also they've brought in Paige McAllister. So there's been big changes at Motherwell off the pitch and also on it, so they'll obviously be looking at, as I mentioned, the teams in and around mid-table, bottom table, to try and take points from them, but they will take a lot from today's game in terms of individual performances. How can they improve? You know, how can they improve going forward as a team also? What formation works best for them? Are they able to change formations as the games goes on like they did today? And they certainly did that. So yeah, it'll be a tough season for them going forward.
So an exciting 90 minutes concludes here at Petershill Park. The Scottish Women's Premier League season is underway yet again for the league campaign. Thank you very much for joining us this afternoon on BBC Sports Scotland. We'll be back next Sunday with more SWPL 1 action. But for now, it's goodbye from Emma, goodbye from myself. And it's finished here at Petershill Park. Glasgow City 6, Motherwell 0.